Hi everybody, Jo here again from the design team. It's Tuesday, so that means it's time for our crafty catch up. And today we're going to use some Brusho powders. And this is because quite a few of you have messaged me and just said they need a little bit of help with just some inspiration of how to use Brusho powders. They've used them on the gel press, which is brilliant, but they just want a different way of using them. So this is what I came up with. Now obviously I'm using some of the new stamps because I just can't put them down. And also we're going to be adding into the mix the SprinkleIT. So this is a bit of a double whammy because again a few of you have got the SprinkleITs and again you've just asked it for a reminder of how to use them. So I thought I would just introduce that as well because the two, they're made to actually go together. So it's what we call marriage made in heaven, look, and that sparkle is just beautiful. I've also, if you notice, added one of our lovely new sentiment stickers in there. Well, and again the hardest bit there is choosing which one to use if you're anything like me. And we're going to be using some watercolour card, and it's the Lavinia watercolour card, and really we're just going to create this and have some fun. So I do hope that you're feeling well. I hope you're nice and relaxed. I hope you've got your brew ready. And if you want to join me, just grab yourself, maybe pause me, grab yourself some watercolour card, some Brushos, some stamps, Versamark ink pad. That's what we're going to use as well, our sticky ink pad. Now the card I've gone for here is actually 5 inches by 6 inches, but you know what, you can use any size you want. It depends what finished card you're actually putting it on. I had these lovely card blanks, so that's the size I've gone for. But like I say, you can mix it up a bit. You can use, you know, whatever stamps, whatever size card. The idea is we just have fun and get creative together. Now we're going to do our stamping first. So me being me, I need my copy of paper. And I'm going to start off with the open dandelion. But again, this, I think any of the florals that we've got would work beautifully. And I'm afraid I'm going to have to put it that way. Now we're going to be using an embossing powder. And this is the rose gold, and it's lovely. This technique works well. I've seen it used a lot with white embossing powder, but I thought we'd mix it up a bit and we'd use rose gold, and I think it just gives that extra well, lushness, if there is such a word. It gives an extra something anyway. But again, whatever embossing powder you've got. Now, normally when you're using your embossing powders, we would put an anti-static bag over, just so we don't get sprinkles of embossing powder anywhere. But I don't mind if I get any extra, because it will just add to my background. Oh, that was lucky, wasn't it? Look, it's one of my cleaner ink pads. I do try and keep them clean. I am a bit funny like that, aren't I? But quite often they do get ink on, don't they? So I'm going to put this one sort of about there. And I will wipe them all at the end. Now your Versamark, your sticky ink pad, it will stay wet for a long time because obviously that's what it's designed for. But the hardest bit is because it just forms a watermark. I don't know if you can even see that. It's not easy to see. So for this technique, we're just going to do a couple of stamps and then we're going to put some embossing powder on. Now it's up to you. You can do, if you can see yours, sometimes to be honest, if your ink pad's a little bit not as clean as it should be, shall we say, you actually get more of a watermark and it's easy to see where you've stamped. But I can't see a thing there. So we'll add some powder to this and then it'll just give me an idea. Now I've got some little white bits in my powder. Again, don't judge me. I've no idea where they've come from. But rather than pick them out, I'm just leaving them there. I'll have to try and be tidy one day and pick them out, won't I? But look at that. And like I said, I've got a few little spots here. I'm leaving those. I don't mind about those. And we'll put that back. Oh, look at that. That's where I've been edging my card. Oh, I tried to be good today and have a clean piece of copy paper. That didn't work, did it? Let's put that all back in there. And now I want to come in with the beautiful wild summer flower. But I can see, you see, where I'm stamping now. Like I say, if you're happy doing it all in one go, you do it that way. This is just the way for me. My head works. It's a little bit easier. And I'm thinking I'm going to have one of those there. And the beauty with this stamp, doing this one second, it's quite forgiving to stamp over the first flowers. So if you look, I can actually put that one there. Then let's come in with a couple of the smaller. Just have one peep in there. And I may just put my powder on next, just to see, because I can't remember what's over here. I don't know about you, but with it being invisible, it's a bit like that. Did you ever do that writing with lemon juice when you were little? I used to be a cub leader, and we used to do that with the cubs, and it's lovely, that writing with lemon juice, and you heat it up and it's like magic writing. Right, I've got a few 2 speckles there. I know I said I was going to leave some, but that's just a bit too many. Let's have a look. Now I am going to be putting my thread across here, but I do think I need something there. So do you know what? We'll move that out the way. And this is just the way that my head works. We'll add that one there. Add a bit more. And let's see. Yes, that's finished it off lovely. Just need to catch that bit there. So again, just take your time. So for me, and again, I want to keep it down here because I want my my Brushos to just nicely go off in the sky. A little bit there I want to get rid of. Now, as always, Eric is under my table, so if you can hear any noises, any sighing, it's not me. He does have the habit at the minute of snoring, so again, if you can hear that, it's not my tummy rumbling, it's Eric. I'm sure he knows, you know, when I'm going to do a video. And bless him, if I ask him to go in his bed, he won't. He does just like to be in here under my table. Right, let's get every bit of that back in there. It's a beautiful colour, this. So that's the rose gold. And then what we'll do now is get a heat tool. And again, you want an embossing heat tool. And the best thing with this is put it on just to warm up first. So it'll be a bit noisy. And just get it to heat up so it's at a good heat. Gives me time to look. There's a bit there I don't want. Look, we'll just get rid of that. And then just start embossing and heat it up and then work your way round. Can you see how it turns? And again, don't whack the heat tool, just methodically move it round your arrangement. And if you tilt it in the lights, it's often easier. So if I knock my heat tool off there, and I'm hoping you can just get that in the light. So if you can almost tilt it in the light, you can just check if there's any bits you're not sure. If you've got them, there we go, just tilt it in the light. So as I say, look at that. Such a beautiful colour. Right. Now, because we're going to be using our Brushos, and I'm rather protective over my lovely Lavinia mat, I'm just going to bring in my non-stick craft mat, because you know what I'm like, a bit fussy. And now for the fun bit. So we're going to introduce some Brushos, and we're just going to keep it simple, 2 colours. We're using leaf green and turquoise. And in my head, so if I show you the finished one, now this area here, I know I've got a floating stem here, but I don't mind that for 2 reasons. One, I'm going to add this beautiful tassel braid. 2, I've got deeper colour at the base. So again, the idea is there, but I'm almost making it almost easier for myself. And what we'll do, so in my head, I know I want to keep the yellow. And what I love about this leaf green, it splits into green and yellow. And my idea is with the dandelions thinking yellow. So I'm going to start, now you can wet your paper first. I'm just adding my powder first. And really it makes no odds which you do. It's, you know, chicken and egg. But I want to keep my green round there, and I'm just going to add a little bit of the turquoise. Not too much, because I'm going to do it in stages. And again, remember, pop a pin in the top, and that way you won't use too much. Sorry, excuse me. So, my Lavinia spritz bottle, sorry, I'll just grab a little drink. There we go, she says. I think I've got used to this, my new way of life, my new voice. Now, the Lavinia spritz bottle is brilliant. And I know it sounds obvious, the closer you have it, the more water you will have. The further away, almost the more the spray will spread out. So hold it quite a distance away, and just some nice light spritzing to start off with. And this way, you take control of the Brusho powder. So can you see, as we're adding more water, we're getting that reaction. And what you need to have as well is a piece of kitchen towel ready. And then just let it react. And if you want to move it, again, you can actually angle. So I want it to go up that way, look. So I'm going to angle, and I'm moving the water up that way in the Brusho. Now, if I want it a little bit paler, I can manipulate it by taking my kitchen towel and dabbing a bit off. So up here, I want it to look pale and almost be a bit cloudy. And I love these spots. So you're actually in control. I'm not keen on that bit there, so I'm going to mop that bit up. But it's given me that reaction. Now I need a bit more green at the bottom. So let's take this again, lid off. And again, I know which is my green because it's got a green pin in. So I don't even need to look. I'm just using a green and a blue. So I want a little bit more greeny yellow here. So again, I'll tap it. Now your watercolour card will warp a little. I just tend to get used to holding it like this. You can tape it down before you start if you wish. But again, I just don't. But that is something, if you struggle, that you can do. I love that, and I just want to force that up there a bit. So again, take my bottle, look, and move it that way. Then get rid of that, and I want it to look like, the other thing you can do, you can lift it up and let it have those runs. Oh, I love those, look at that. That's a beautiful run. And again, I want that run to stop there. So a little dab, and it will stop it there. So it's all about taking control of the Brushos. Keep moving to a clean piece of your kitchen paper. Dab that. I love that there. Now, I want a little bit more blue just in here. So, in with this turquoise colour, and right along the bottom, I want this to be quite deep. And again, come in with the water. And this one, I'm going to come straight down. And I want this to be quite deep in colour. So I'm just going to leave that. And the best tip with Brushos is let them dry naturally. You can force dry them with your heat tool, but if you let it dry, So I'm going to try and zoom this in. Oh, look, oh, you can look. I just want to show you, look at this bit here, how it's moving. I love that bit there. Can we zoom in again? Look. And I just love all these areas. Oh, go back out, look. Now, while it's wet, and once I'm happy, so I'm happy with this. I love the way that looks. What I'm going to do is bring in my SprinkleIT. Now I'm using iridescent gold, but there's lots of different colours. And again with this, I've got a pin in the lid. Now this is designed, it almost sticks itself where there's water. So the fact that I've wet this with the Brusho, if I add it, sprinkle it, so pretend I'm having my fish and chips and I'm putting my salt on. There we go. And I will leave that now to dry. Again, if I just zoom in, can you tell I found I can use this? I don't know if you can see, look at the SprinkleIT. And that will stick now to the wet area. And as it dries, that will stick. So you don't have to worry about adding any Versamark or anything. Now, I'm just going to mop this up. Because you know what I'm like, it'll drive me mad if I don't. There we go. And what I'll do is just pop this to one side and bring the finished one in. But I just want to dry this. And then I'll talk you through the last little bit, because honestly, it is better if you let it dry. Now, I do think this, you could, I mean, I find it such fun and it's so easy, honestly. Just persevere with your Brushos if you're somebody who struggles, but do it one bit at a time. And like I say, if you don't like the way it's going, mop it up. If you want to add more water, add more colour. And as I say, you can get these lovely, lovely patterns. And I think that's the thing, is just taking control. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put a piece of kitchen towel there and put my finished card here, just to show you. So all I've done on my finished card, when it was dry, I've added some little bits of gel pen, just a little bit of white gel pen for highlight. But obviously that was when it was dry. I also added some little flicks of the blue Brusho with a turquoise on my card blank, and added a little bit of the SprinkleIT look, and it's lovely how it sticks to it, just to make it look like a cohesive design, so the whole thing matches. And one of my beautiful sticker sentiments, but I have to say, look at this, that's all I've got left. I think I've only had these about a week, but I have got a full one to show you. So look at those. I think we've got the most gorgeous sentiments on there. Absolutely beautiful. So that, again, just for me, finished off, and I just stuck one on a piece of matching card and popped it at the bottom. What I love as well is the way the two are so different. And as I say, I think you could batch card make these, and I just think they're beautiful. So if you're one of those ladies who message me who struggles with Brushos, I'd love you to have a go at this technique. As I say, just take your time. With these videos, remember, you can stop them, you can pause them, and don't be afraid to just add a bit more water, then mop it up if you don't like it, or add a bit more powder. And just enjoy what you're doing. The watercolour card will let you add so much water and let you spend time. I mean, look at this now. We're just letting this dry naturally, and look how flat it is. And again, that shows you what a good quality watercolour card it is. So I'm hoping you have a go. Any problems, just message me and I'll talk you through it. But you take care. Thank you as always for joining me. Oh, and look. Hands aren't too bad, are they? Just a little bit of blue there. Have a good week. I hope you're going to join me next Monday for our Monday mindfulness, and then again on Tuesday for our catch up with our cheeky brew and biscuit. So you take care, everybody. Love and hugs from me. Bye for now.